show you some watercolor techniques.
I'm going to show you how to do some textures using watercolors. The first one is called wet on wet, and that basically means that you're painting on a wet surface. So I put some plain water in there, and then I'm just going to drop some color. This is really useful if you're painting clouds or reflections in water. You can get a really soft edge. Dry brush, in contrast, is painting on dry paper. So for that one, it's really helpful for small details that you're painting. Things like grass like this. Maybe we'll do a flower with a leaf. Make a different color. The paint pretty much stays where you put it. Down along the bottom, I'm going to be using a variety of salt onto really wet paint. You need to make sure that you put the salt right away. If it starts to dry, then it won't react. And here are some different coarseness of salt. There's table salt all the way on the left, sea salt in the middle, and some kosher salt on the right. And these are just salts that I had in my kitchen. The kosher salt and the sea salt are pretty similar. So I'll get a little variation in color in there. Oops, I got into my wet on wet, and you can see it starting to flow down there, but that's all right. I'm going to sprinkle some table salt, a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of kosher salt, and hopefully we'll have some reaction with that last one. It's a little bit wetter areas will work better. What happens is the salt soaks up some of that pigment and leaves some little dots of texture. So the plastic film is really nice for backgrounds. I'm just going to put some green here. And then I have a little square of plastic film I'm just going to crunch up and set on top of that wet paint, and then just leave it. I'm not going to touch it until it's completely dry, and then I can remove the plastic and see what the texture looks like. So I'll show you at the end of the video. And then the last one is going to be sgraffito, which can be used in different mediums. I use it a lot in pottery as well. And that's the act of scratching into the surface. In this case, you're scratching into the paint and creating some texture and some line into the paint. So I put the pigment on there, and then I'm just going to use the back of a paintbrush. Let's see how that looks when it dries. It does change quite a bit as it dries. So there's some fun textures that you guys can try, and a lot of that stuff you can find in your own kitchen. Watercolors are pretty widely available. And if you didn't have them, you can get them at the grocery store. You can get student quality ones. I'm just using washable Crayola watercolors today, so it's nothing fancy. So I'll show you what that looks like when it dries.